Hey y'all, it's Nicole. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking all about ClickUp. You probably just came over from Heather's video where we talked about ClickUp for beginners, right? So on today's video, Heather Ferris is joining me to talk about how we can take ClickUp and use it as a simple client management tool. So with that, I'm gonna hand it over to Heather and have her introduce herself. So welcome, Heather.
Hey Nicole, thanks so much for having me. Super excited to be here.
So thanks for being here, Heather. We're going to talk a little bit about why we upgraded. So ClickUp is a free tool, but if you upgrade, there's so many more things that you can have access to. So Heather, tell us why you decided to upgrade from the free level of ClickUp to the mid-level, and then I know you upgraded to the highest level. So tell us about that.
I did. So I was looking for a way to get out of using Trello. I just fell out of love with that platform and I needed something a little bit more robust. So I started with the free plan as a beginner, total beginner, and ended up actually stopping using the platform because I got way too complicated, way too fast. And it was just too much to have to learn. So I eventually came back around to it during the middle of the pandemic in 2020 and added my team member in who is very visual. She's a graphic designer by nature. Like, she does interior design and homes. And I let her actually help me to build a system that we could use for our clients and communicate within it together. So I started with just the $5 per month plan. And then that allowed me to embed like Google Drive links and connect things to it. Just very simple, and then add additional little features in there, which we'll talk about. But at Black Friday, they gave me a smoking hot deal to actually upgrade to the next tier for like $67 for another entire year for all of the users in the seats that I currently had. So it gave me even more goodness in a box. And by this point, like I said in the video on my channel, I started and got way too complicated and I stopped using it. So by this point in time when I upgraded, I was actually just like well versed in ClickUp world, and it's just stuck.
Yeah, ClickUp can be a world, that is for sure. There's so many things that you can get stuck in if you're not doing simple. So I want to remind y'all, if you are brand new to ClickUp, go back to Heather's channel and watch that video first before you watch this video, because this is going to be more advanced techniques. And so for me, the reason I upgraded is because I really enjoyed having more branded content, so it white labeled, and I could have my logo, my name, my colors on forms. I could do more automations. I could use customization as far as with the custom fields, because I like to track, specifically with my podcast and my YouTube, I want to track, for podcasts, I want to track what quarter things are going to be published in, where YouTube, I want to track what the topic is, if it's a collab, if it's not. That way I can keep up and make sure I'm not making just a bunch of crap content that y'all don't want to hear about, right? So for me, it was a no-brainer to upgrade to ClickUp, even though I'm using it as a solopreneur. Yes, I have a VA and I have a team, but I'm using it by myself right now. I don't have access to guests and things like that. So that's why I'm really excited to have Heather share about her ClickUp and show the inside of how she uses it with her team.
It's a doozy when you first get started, but it doesn't have to be, right? We can start simple even if we're using our team members inside of ClickUp. So like what Nicole had mentioned in the video on my channel, and we keep referring to that. If you haven't watched it, seriously watch it. Space folder lists. So the hierarchy of ClickUp is space folder list, and you can add members to folders and lists individually, but not spaces. So a space houses the folder, and then if you wanted just to have lists in each folder. So that's actually how I have mine set up. So I have a Ferris & Co. HQ space, and then inside of that I have a folder for organic and promoted pin clients. So 2 folders inside of the one space, and then each team member that's assigned to each account only has access to the individual lists that they need access to. So we make it really simple, and then within the list for each client we have a myriad of different things, and I'm actually going to show you that in the tutorial how we actually have that set up. and how we manage them.
So Heather, I know you mentioned that you have team members. And so how do you share with a guest versus paying for a team member to get inside your ClickUp?
Yeah, so you can pay for additional members to be inside of your ClickUp. So I actually pay for my main assistant, Becky, to have admin access, because if for some reason I am on vacation, which happens, I need her to have full admin access. So if there's an assistant that needs access to a list, or God forbid, somebody offboards and we need to have, she needs to have access to everything I have access to. That is the only reason why I have a team member that I actually pay for access for. So this might be your OBM, it might be your integrator, it could just be a really key team member in your business that you actually pay for an additional seat per year for that person. And I just think that this is just really good insurance to have. So I have Becky as a paid member in my ClickUp, and then everyone else that comes into ClickUp, we have guest seats. So for every paid membership, I think they give you 5 to 7 free guest seats. Don't quote me on this. We can tell you maybe in the description or something what that is, but you get guest seats for every paid member that you have on your plan. And those free guest seats can have full edit access to lists that you assign them to. So that's where I add all of the additional assistants, like my video editor has access just to my marketing list, my writer has access just to my marketing list, and then my Pinterest assistants have access to the client list that they need to have access to. So they have full edit access to the lists individually, but not full admin access. So they can't see all of the spaces or billing or anything like that I have set up inside of ClickUp.
Yeah, and Heather, I want to add too, so within my ClickUp, I don't pay for any special seats or guests or anything like that, but I do on my podcast space. Well, it's not even my space, my podcast folder. Within that list, I can share that with my team. So I have a lead generation specialist that I work with, and she can see, because she does create some content for me, she can see what podcasts I have been on. That way she can use that within the content creation process, and it's not something that I have to pay for, but it's also not something that she needs edit access. She just needs to view it, and I didn't feel like I needed to remake a spreadsheet or something like that. So it was an easy and free workaround for me. So if you just need somebody to view something, you can share it with specific people, and you can also do a public setting. I'm not a fan of having all of my business out publicly, but there are different ways you can change those settings.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's super helpful. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah. That's the beauty of ClickUp. It's just like it keeps opening up like an onion. There's no end to all these layers that you can unpeel. And speaking of guests and team members inside of ClickUp, Heather, do you allow your clients inside of ClickUp to see what you're doing and where you're at in the process and that kind of stuff?
Not at all. Now, I may be going against the grain. You may want to allow your clients inside of ClickUp. I think it's just going to depend on how you work with clients and what that looks like in your business. But since we provide a white glove service for our clients, meaning we do everything from research to image creation to actually implementing and scheduling their Pinterest queue, there is no reason for them to be inside of ClickUp to be seeing or interacting or moving things around or, Lord help us, deleting things. So that space is solely for my team and I to manage their accounts and to communicate outside of email. That way, if we mention anything or if anything is said, it's safe and the client doesn't have eyeballs on it. So no.
I would do the same thing, Heather. And I think it is kind of one of those things that maybe business to business, it's going to vary. So, somebody who is a graphic designer, they may need to share with their client, hey, this is where we're at in the process, where you're just taking Pinterest completely off their plate. And I will say, side note, because I don't do Pinterest anymore, if y'all need somebody to take Pinterest off your plate and completely manage it where you don't have to worry about it, go talk to Heather, because I'm not doing it anymore, and tell her I sent you so I can get a referral, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Cool. All right, y'all. So
should I show them how to use it for clients now?
I think you should, Heather. Let's go ahead and hop into that tutorial. Y'all ready? Let's go.
Okay, so let's talk about using ClickUp for simple client management. So I have already created a list, and I created it exactly the way I wanted it, and I saved that list as a template. That way when I onboard new clients going forward, everything is in there, including subtasks, checklists, the gamut, it's all there. So essentially what I want to do is insert that list that I've already got. So it's saved in my template center. And if you want to learn how to save templates, I will make sure to get Nicole a link to my template tutorial video where I walked you through how to actually save things as templates in ClickUp. But I'm going to go to Template Center and browse template. Now it's going to add a brand new list. So the one that I have in here called list, it's not going to be what we actually use. So we're going to click this and we are going to click use template, and you can go ahead and give it a name here. So whatever you want to name. So let's just say client name. You can customize the import. So if we wanted to customize the import, we could take all sorts of things off. I'm just going to say import everything, and I'm going to click use template. And it's going to take a second to think, and then it's going to populate a brand new list right in here. Okay, there's your list with the specific client name. Now it has just the things that this template came with that I built out. It does not have the extra views that we need to add. So one of the very first things I always do is go to view and I add an embed. Now I'm going to pull in my Google Doc or my Google Sheet for that specific client. So in this case, I'm actually just going to do my own sheet. Now, just a really quick pro tip, if you're embedding anything Google Docs related, the embed has to be anyone on the internet can edit this document. Otherwise, it will not embed into ClickUp and you can't actually edit the document inside of ClickUp itself. You're not even going to be able to see it. So make sure you have those settings created when you click that share button. Anyone on the internet can edit. Paste your link in here and click add view. And then if you click the link, each time you'll have to click that little link and it'll refresh. You'll see my spreadsheet that I have attached, and we create one of these for all of our clients. Actually just embeds itself right in this document or right in this ClickUp list. And then I just edit it, so I just change the name. So whatever you want to name it, that's what you're going to name it. And because we work with clients out of this spreadsheet and we don't work with clients inside of ClickUp, we like to embed this sheet into ClickUp. Now, another view that you can add that is fairly new to ClickUp is the chat view. Click add view and add chat, and then you can have an entire conversation outside of Slack about whatever it is regarding this client inside of their list. This is really cool. Now, let's hop back over to our board view because we have to settle a few things. So we're going to go with this example of client onboarding, assuming that they are only onboarding for organic. Now I actually have to update this a little bit because I moved to Honeybook, but nonetheless, we're going to come over here to the three dots and click edit statuses, and we are going to delete that one, and it's going to make you move everything out of there. So we're going to say closed, done. So if they are only coming on for organic, these are all the things that we need to do for them when they get onboarded. And then from here, we are just working this week, next week. So tasks, task reminders, we use recurring tasks as well. So they just recur every month at the same time. We use that specifically for analytics. If there's pin designs that we're creating, we are linking them in here. That way, if the client ever needs the file, we can download it and send that to them. Any pin descriptions that we're writing for clients for specific products that we want to reuse or build on later, we save those in here. And then any keyword research we want to save, we're saving that in there. And then we just work off of this list. Okay, so I know I told you that we use recurring tasks, so let me just show you that really quick. So recurring tasks. Okay, so what you want to do is add your task, and then you're going to go into your task, and you're going to click the due date icon and click set recurring. You're going to create a new, you have a couple options here. You want it to recur weekly, daily, monthly, yearly, or custom. So we usually do a monthly on the same day of each month. And then on schedule, just leave that as is. And you have new options here. Create a new task and include everything in the new task. So we typically don't create a new task. It's just the same one every time, but you can have it create a new task for you. And then how long do you want it to recur to? And then when this task recurs, we'll automatically change the status to whatever status you choose here. So if it recurs again, you want it to go into maybe this week, and then click save. And then that little recycle icon right there is going to tell you that that task is going to recur on the 17th of every month. So that's recurring tasks. Okay, so another thing that you may want to do, because you're not actually getting my template, is actually edit your statuses. So once you build out your template for the first time, you can template it and you won't have to do this again. But all of these items at the top, they're not technically lists, they're statuses. So this whole thing is a list just in board view. So what we're going to do is we're going to edit our statuses, and then you can choose the templates down here that they have for you. Or if you wanted to create a custom status, you can do that in here as well. You can add new statuses. So let's just call this one new, hit enter. Then it's automatically going to pop up the color icons for you to choose a new color for that particular status, and click save. And then you'll notice that pops into our new board or list right here. Another really fun thing that you can do if you don't want to look at all of these at the same time is you can actually collapse columns just temporarily. You don't even have to collapse them forever. Like I showed you how I deleted that onboarding for paid. I could have just collapsed it if I wanted to, and that way it brings down the view and I'm not scrolling forever. So just a quick ninja tip. All right, let's talk about assigning tasks. So anytime I create a list like this, I give it to my assistant, and generally speaking, they are in control of their own list of their client. I'm going in and checking to make sure that the tasks they're doing for that client are on track. They're getting their due dates done on time. If there's anything lacking or any communication we need to have, that's where I really come in as the leader in that relationship. But typically speaking, like when I come in here and I'm onboarding a new client, what I'm doing is I'm assigning team members to the actual task that I need them to do. So if I need them to brainstorm keywords and audit the Pinterest account and create a graphics plan, I'm assigning them to those tasks, and then I'm coming in and actually assigning myself to the tasks that I need to do. So that's how you can assign just really quickly team members if they're working inside of ClickUp with you. Now, inside of your task, each task, you can actually create and communicate in here. In any one of these, you can actually tag team members. So if I wanted to tag myself or the whole watchers or assignees, so anyone can be tagged based on the level and the relationship within that task. You can do the same thing in your comments. You can also mention other tasks, people. You can assign a comment. So if I commented and I said, hey, this needs done, we're going to click comment, and then I can assign this comment to a team member. Now, something else that you can do is the resolve button. So if this was assigned to me and I finished it, I can click resolve. Something else that you can do is comment on a comment, so the thread can continue. And then you can remind yourself about this comment and this task on a certain day. So that's actually really neat. So if I'm actually, if an assistant asks me for something and I respond to them and say, hey, I'll have it to you by such and such day, then I will come in here and I will click remind me on that day to make sure that I am paying attention, I'm getting that done. You can also, if you are working with somebody inside of your ClickUp, just click remind yourself on any sort of comment that happens in here. That way you're not forgetting and losing things in the mix. Because not everything you do in ClickUp is actually going to be a task with a due date. Okay, so the last thing that I want to show you is the notification screen. Now, I'm 100% not sure what is in here, but I'm going to show you anyways, because the notification screen is usually where everything lives. So these are all the new notifications that I have. This could be due dates on things that are assigned to me. You can filter this by all assigned to me and mentions. So this is like if there's stuff coming up, like my video editor got my video edited, I can go ahead and quickly in here respond, I'll review today, thank you, comment. And then I can clear that out. Now, I actually do want to show you one other thing inside of the dummy space. I forgot to show you how to actually add your team members, and then this is it for this tutorial. I really hope this was helpful. So in the list or the folder, so we actually don't have a folder in here. We're going to create one. So you can add people to folders or lists, and then we're going to drag this list up here. So you can add people here to the whole list. So if I wanted to add somebody to this whole list, I could do that. And then if you wanted just to add them to the individual list, you can do that here under the sharing and permissions. So there you go. That's how you add people to your folders or lists and assign them and get them inside of your ClickUp as a team member. Now, I did not talk about this view in this tutorial. If you're interested in this view, we may need to do another one later, but for now, I hope that this was super helpful. If you have any questions, make sure you leave them in the comments down below.
All right, y'all, I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. Heather, thank you so much for being here and showing us all the back end view of your ClickUp for simple client management stuff.
My pleasure. Thanks so much for having me, Nicole. I really enjoyed this.
Of course, of course. All right, y'all. So if you want to grab access to ClickUp, it is a free tool, but you can upgrade like Heather and I have shared. Go ahead and click on that affiliate link in the description below. That way you can start implementing this tool within your business. So again, if you haven't checked out Heather's video on her channel about ClickUp that we collaborated on, go head over to her channel. I will link it below in the description. And if y'all are new here and have never hung out before, I'm Nicole Saunders, and I love sharing all things about business and entrepreneurship and Enneagram and Myers-Briggs and all the fun stuff. So I want to keep hanging out with you, so make sure you hit subscribe. And if you like today's video, give me a big thumbs up because I want to know if I need to keep making content like this. But yeah, thanks y'all so much for hanging out with me and Heather talking about ClickUp for simple client management. We'll see y'all on the next one. Bye, y'all.